Whoops! I had two podcasts there, guys. This is supposed to be Invisible Garden Solutions to Natural Flea Control, and he's just bouncing in the background, and it's your music, Andy. So you should be bouncing in the background. And you were saying something about you just released a new song on SoundCloud, and it's like 20 minutes long or something.
Yeah, it's called MU.
Not
MU is, and I have a series of them now. They're at least 20 minutes long, and you have to wear headphones because
they're binaural.
Binaural, right? Without the headphones, it's not as effective. Do not do it while you're driving. You can be used for a workout, but basically, if you just listen to it, you get the workout. You'll see what I'm talking about. It has over 10 different frequencies that it goes through.
Woo! Yeah, it's a mental workout.
And it all has its chanting done by these monks. And I can't pronounce the name, but it's a really long story. It starts with an S, and it's a certain type of frequencies that the monks always sing. Hey, everybody. Oh, I have to look at the comments section. I keep forgetting. I'm hiring somebody to come over, sit here, and just answer the comments. So if you're a student, you need to make some money, come over here, and you can answer the comments for me. But hey, listen, today I'm going to give you an amazing solution to natural flea control. Because I have a book. One of my books is on natural flea control, and I covered some of the basic things. That when I first started doing this, I didn't make the connection with the soil. You know where I'm getting at with the soil, the biology of the soil. So when I worked on helping people with flea control, I would cater into the obvious thing like eat a lot of garlic, feed your pets a lot of garlic, because garlic is a natural. Garlic can be used as a natural flea control. It depends on how you use it.
Right.
And there are lots of interesting ways you can go after the fleas in terms of killing them. I can cover some of those things for you. There's a couple of really good ones. Of course, you don't want to use any of the chemical stuff. But there, in the last, I don't know, 40 years of my 70s, somewhere around 40 years ago, I started really talking more about I appreciate you calling it the soil biology, because I really love that, but I was calling it the microbes. I say the microbes in the soil, the little creatures in the soil, right? Everything but soil biology, right? The little men, the little woman, the little guys, right? The little gardeners. And so I start, talk show, guy, that's me, yeah. That's cool. Talk show I've been doing a long time. It's very cool. I have all the shows up there too.
Cool.
But so what I want to do is I want to get, I teach a long and short-term solution. So there's always a short-term solution, but you don't really want that to rely on that to be the whole thing, because a short-term solution is actually good if you want to go to the person's house or place. If you were you've been doing this for a living every month for the rest of their life, I would just do the short-term solution. Just like with doctors, you go to the doctor, he says, well, there's a long-term and short-term solution. You can eat better, you can do all this stuff, and I'll never see you again, or you can keep eating this junk, take this pill, and come by every week and give me money, right, for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Right? So, so it depends on what you're really doing. If you're really doing it for the benefit of everyone, then you really say, okay, eat better, take care of yourself, come around if you're not feeling good, but hey, I shouldn't have to see you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, that I'm going to get around to the soil biology, because as I explained a long time, remember when we did the ant thing, doing the ant thing. That's the ant thing. Those are the ants. My daughter-in-law did me dancing with the ants. I have a book called Dances with Ants.
Cool.
So it's just with the ants, it's the same thing as with the fleas. You don't really have to go in a kill thing. You have to understand why these creatures are meant to be here. They're part of nature. So you have to understand what is going on that's causing that to happen. Always comes back to the soil, because if the soil biology is there and everything's fine, that's why you need a billion different kinds of microbes and living things in that biology. And literally, it's a mess of you could study your whole life, all the different things you will find in the soil, or you should find in the soil, the blend of different kinds of living beings in the soil, right?
Yeah.
And so therefore, it can handle any kind of pest or disease that has ever been on the planet, because that's what it's for. See?
Mhm.
So this, as I said before, it controls ants. How does it control ants? Right, the biology of the ants. I was just going to say I like the ants in the background. Yes, hi silly. Yeah, that's me. Dances with Ants. It's the cover of my book. I couldn't find any other background, so I came up with this one.
Mhm.
And my latest book, which I'm sending you a free copy of, Ken, the Don't Panic, It's
Thank you.
Panic. That Dances with Ants book is free inside of it. You get it
Cool.
also. And I was thinking of how to promote the book, but I'll talk about it later. But anyway, so, and the way it controls the ants is the biology. The same thing with the fleas. All diseases and pests are in the soil, start in the soil. So
Mhm.
whenever you have a flea problem outside, and if you're lucky, if you have property, you know it starts in the soil. You know something's going on with your soil. You're not only going to have a flea problem, but an ant problem, all kinds of creatures running around that are out of control.
Mhm.
And this is a long-term solution, yeah? Long-term
Yep.
solution. It's not going to happen overnight. This lady, I have a customer who's texting me, 3 months. It's been 3 months. This property, everything should be healed by now. You said you would switch over to something and it would help. And I was like, and I just told her last time, I said, lady, this is only, last time was only 2 months. It's like, hey, this is supposed to be healed over already. and it takes time to do that. That's why it's called a long-term solution. So you all know that you have to increase the biology of the soil, more roots in the soil, make sure the soil has good structure by adding organic matter and recycling everything back into the soil. More roots in the soil is the key. Exactly right. The more the more of a blend of biology that you have, the better you're going to control a wide range of diseases and pests. So these are just indicators. If you walk through a garden and you get attacked by a billion things, you're going to go, whoa, okay, what is going on here, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the interesting things that I've learned about using the biology is liquid, making your own biological liquid. I started doing this early on in life because by in life I mean yes, as a teenager I was hip to Rudolf Steiner. I was hip to um, biodynamics, the theories about biodynamics. But I was talking about let's see.
Compost teas.
No. Wait a second. I almost had it. Bach flower. So you have to go like this. Oh, yeah. It was Bach flower remedies. So a Bach flower, Bach, he invented Bach flowers. It's Ken's B-Day tomorrow. Oh, Ken. Well, now I have to send you the book. But I just got here, and I was thinking, I want to send you the book for sure, because I think you'll really like it. And I also want to maybe send you a couple copies that you can maybe do a free giveaway, or maybe you can just do it.
Cool.
I would mail it. One of those
Sure,
things.
we can do that.
I have Amazon mail it. I just give them the address and just they send it to me. And I don't pay the $20. Like I'm the author, I get $7. I can get it for $7. So it's a good deal. Anyway, so you know what? You all know that I do various different types of worm farming. That means like I like Layton's liquid, so it's not really worm farming. But so I've learned that different types of worm produces different biology. I also learned that different types of I saw one of your podcasts about using water in terms of feeding plants, and I also found another podcast in terms of ladies that do different biology by different liquids, and so you learn to not just stick to one, but you do a blend of it. You learn 1 week this, the next week you do that, and you constantly promoting a natural blend. Mother Nature does not say, okay, everybody on this side, everybody else on this
likes
side.
Diversity.
Right. It's all everybody go get it together here, So that's the key to it. So what I learned every time I use a unique biology, which is pretty regular, like my partner says, wait a minute, this is not what you did last month. I go, no, it isn't. And I said, well, and after a while, I said, every month you seem to be doing slightly something different with the different kinds of things that you're getting from who knows where. You know whatever's going on, right?
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? It's like the 1 month I was doing the sprouts. So the liquid you drink and you, of course, spray it on your plants and use it as part of the mixtures. I would make put it. One of the things I'm getting here is a beer unit, and I'm going to videotape it, and we'll show it here. But you can see how I can take a gallon of any liquid that I make, turn it into 15 gallons. Very same identical thing. Pure gold. Yep. What is it? What does that mean? Is that you?
That's the taking a little bit and making a lot. That's pure gold. That's knowledge that you're dropping in.
That. You put the
I
pure
did
gold.
That. Yeah. I did that, man. See, and there's a gold bar because I'm the one that did it. Yeah.
It is so absolutely cool because and people, and I keep telling them that I can do this. Anybody can do it. I just happen to be clever enough to go, and I do a living as a service making biology and making more of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why things cost me is because I buy things from Amazon. I buy things from other growers who are developing their own biology stuff, which is really cool. The liquids nowadays are so many. And I like to one of the things we're going to be doing is list of shows. I love to go through different websites. These people sell this. Isn't this amazing? These people sell this. Isn't this amazing? Oh, okay. Ken, you have a tail?
I got a fuzzy tail. Yeah.
I knew you were different. I knew you're different. I watch the Monkey King all the time because I know I have a tail. But so the thing is I learned in terms of pest control because I've done pest controls almost all my life. It's long term, short term. But in the short term is there's a really learn to use the biology. There are different biologies you can use for different pests that work really, really well for some strange reason, right? So not all biology will work on the pests. I use certain types that I use on the ants, for example. I use a certain type that have to do with diseases. Mm-hmm. And so you'll find, for example, with diseases, as long as you're using the biology you get from milk.
Yeah.
Wow, right? And in vegetables, for example, you learn how to use the same biology that in your garden. You make it from the plants in your garden. Make a tea. Yeah. So I like to make a tea from lettuce. Wonderful. And I spray it on the plants, and I can tell it works because you can actually everything greens up really fast. And the disease. I was at a place today which had a fungus among us. It was like it was a white fungus on the leaves of the plants. And I was telling Michelle today that the fungus is now gone. And this is only the third visit. Happy pre-birthday, Ken. Happy work for you, brother. Yeah. Rock on. You're not going to say how old, man, are you?
Old enough to know better and young enough to keep doing it.
My birthday's up at maybe February 1st. So what are you, Capricorn?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius was before. I'm Aquarius, man. I got 5 planets in Aquarius, Moon in Pisces, and I have Aries rising. And we can do a show on that sometime too. So going back to the fleas, you have to key into the health of the soil. You can't say that I gotta kill the fleas. Now, if you live in a condominium or someplace that doesn't have any soil or anything, you're bringing it in. You let your cat out, or you go for a walk in the park. You're bringing them in, and that's an entirely different thing that you learn. How you learn to deal with fleas. And I before the show is over, I will go over more. Although what's going on here? I'm a Pisces. I'd rather be a killer whale.
Don't want to be the little fish. Want to be the big fish.
That is. I've never heard that before. Holy shit! Holy on this cusp. She's on the cusp of Aries Taurus. That is interesting. You have a lot of 4-legged creatures going on there. She's probably, she's very steady. She can climb up all kinds of rigid mountains, and I have Aries rising, so I know because Aries is good for work. It's good to get things done, and I like to go ding 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 bing 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 bing. And with Taurus, holy cow! That means he's going to do it. Was I wrong, silly? Huh? Come on, silly. Was I good? Did I get you, huh?
I'll let her answer.
Yeah. So that's basically what you have to do first is learn. If you have soil, take care of the soil first. It will definitely control the fleas. There's things you have to do that in the meantime that you can really help with the fleas for the animals or indoors. And so I want to go over a couple of them that I've learned to do, and with experience, a couple you probably don't want to even try. I mean, I learned about essential oils. Well, those things are so powerful.
Yeah.
And of course it works, but it really will hurt the cat or the pet that you're trying to wipe the fleas with or spray the property your house with. Because if you have fleas in the home and you have pets, your first consideration should be the health of the pet. Of course, your health yourself, but your health of the pet, because it's like a little baby, very tiny little animal is right there when you're spraying. I know I hurt my cat's liver once, and I sprayed. It's a product I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to give it bad advice, but it's basically made from citrus oil, and I've always used it outside. It's a L-lanolin that kills the fleas on contact. There's a couple of them on the market now that are diluted enough that work. And I could probably mention. Can I mention the name of it?
Go ahead.
Are we advertising here?
We're trying to help everybody, and if there's a product that'll help people, I don't mind you're telling people about that at all. I don't care about making money for it.
I have a complaint. I'm always on the right side. Now I'm on the left side, and that doesn't feel right.
I'm sorry, but see, if I have my camera right here, and this way you're right in front of me on my screen, if I put you back over here, then I'm looking over here instead of looking over here.
So you did that on purpose? Oh God!
I did. Yes,
know.
I'm playing with your brain, Andy.
I don't know. So, and what's cool is that if you learn to use a different type of liquids, because you can make a wide variety of liquids from plants, from herbs. I know that I love growing a variety of herbs because I can always make a tea from them and spray. Yep. And the tea, different teas are if you study herbs, you say, well, this is good in iron too. You should take this for the iron. Well, guess what? The iron is also transmitted to the plants. But because it's an herb, the oils of the herb are also very effective on bugs and diseases, on pests, and also diseases too, because I want to sterilize the disease. But take it one step further back so we're talking about the soil. But if you also have to take into account the health of the particular animals and people. Yeah. When they get attacked by fleas or any other creature like that, there's something that's attracting them to that. And not unless it's an accident. Oh my gosh, But usually they will go, oh, I want to bite you because I think you'll be good for me to take your blood or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right? And so
exactly.
Again, it comes down to the long-term cost. The long-term solution would be, I think you better start eating better. That's what it comes down to. You better start looking at the food you're eating and see what's going on, because what's happening is you're damaging your own soil that you have in your stomach.
Yeah.
So your soil in your stomach normally would produce all the biology that we need to control diseases and pests in our bodies.
Yeah, supposed to.
Right. So when something's wrong there, it'd be better than taking drugs, which is what happens. You take the drug, it doesn't really deal with the reason why. It's just really good to make you feel a little better. Or it doesn't work in the long run. And so you have to. So with animals, I've been fortunate in that I apply the same principle that I apply to myself of trying to eat well. But I know animals eat meat and stuff like that, but I don't go out and buy the junk food for animals. I buy them a good quality product that doesn't have the preservatives in it. It's very hard enough to buy organic pet food, right?
Let alone organic human food.
Yeah, exactly right. So so I get no grain. Animals are not meant to eat grain. Cats and the dogs are not meant to eat grains. Yeah, there you go.
No grain.
So I take the grains out. No preservative. A lot of times I go to the store, I'll buy some raw chicken or some raw fish, lightly heat it up for them, let them eat that. And what I really like doing is feeding them this freeze-dried food So it'd be freeze-dried chicken or freeze-dried fish. Nothing is just freeze-dried. They can eat all that they want to. They get the protein and everything. It really helps them out a lot. And so, but there are other additional things that you can get in the house that works really well. Your first urge is to spray something, and it's not a good idea unless you have some experience. And I'll tell you the one simple thing that you can spray. You don't want to spray essential oils. Lots of products on the market now. You'll see some blend of this essential oil, that essential oil, or this oil, or that oil. That's fine if you don't have. Even no, it's not really not fine because let's assume you don't have any animals. For some reason, you do have fleas in the house. You're spraying. This stuff is going to get into your liver, your kidney. After a while, you're going to go, oh boy, something's going to go wrong because that's not. You shouldn't be. It's concentrated. It's constantly spraying this stuff. It's not meant for you to be breathing in. It's going to screw you up. And
well, you're putting your own body out of balance, Andy, because you're overdoing it. And we teach balance, right?
Right. It upsets your hormone. It affects your hormones. It affects your nervous system. It affects the whole everything. And one of those things, you go to the doctor and they go, take 2 of these and come back in a week and let's see what happens. You're going to go, right. Cool. Yeah. And there are some really cool things that you can do. There's a spray that is absolutely amazing that you can spray that if you have pets and other creatures and it doesn't bother you, except that, I'll tell you what it is. It's alcohol. So they have like 70% alcohol.
Okay, yeah.
And what you learn
like an isopropyl alcohol, what I use to clean my tools in my garden.
Right. And some of those are 70% and 90% or different percentage. Right. So what you want to learn is the percentage of water to alcohol that will do the trick. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting, that 90% will do it, but you don't have to spray 90% straight. I would take half of that and spray that put that in a gallon of water and then spray. And if you have fleas, you'll see them.
So you're saying a gallon of water, are we talking like an ounce or 50-50 or what?
So in a gallon of water, when you buy, I don't know about you guys, but over here I buy the alcohol and they come in they come in maybe like, not a quart, because a quart would be bigger, right? So there's maybe 8 ounces.
Okay.
Of a little container. So that's at 70%.
Okay.
And so you can take half of that. So it'd be like 3 ounces, say. You can dump 3 ounces into a gallon of water. You usually have a sprayer as a gallon, it's a sprayer. But if you have just a little quart sprayer, I would put a little bit of the alcohol on the bottom, just a little bit, like an inch on the bottom, fill the rest up with water, shake it up, and spray. And
where am I spraying this, Andy? You're saying spray it, but I'm spraying it inside, outside.
I'm going to say it, right? So, right. So what you want to do is you want to be able to see the fleas. You want to know. So if you've seen fleas on you, and you're in the house, in a rug, or in your back porch, wherever a lot of times you're in the rug, for example. Mm-hmm. And so you want to basically mist the rug or mist the area where the stuff is in the house. You can spray under the beds. A lot of times it may be on your bed. If you have animals, you leave them out of the room because they're so close to alcohol. You don't want them to get drunk, but it evaporates really, really super fast. You don't want to. You yourself, when you spray everything, you don't sit in there and you go, oh, this. You want to say, okay,
I'm enjoying this spraying.
Right, I'm going to go to the other room, close the door, turn on the fan, and air it out because alcohol will evaporate, but it will kill the fleas. Yeah. Now, the way I've developed to tell if I have fleas or not, I buy this product called the Ultimate Flea Trap.
Okay.
Ultimate Flea Trap. No chemicals are involved. And this company came out, and there are lots of other imitators. You're going to see like 5 or 10 different kinds, different prices, different sizes, different gimmicks. But it's only one called Ultimate Flea Trap. That's what I would recommend because it's the easiest to use. Basically, it's a little. It looks like a circus. You're looking in because basically it's got the top on it, and it's got the bottom. There's a light that shines through the top of it, and it's got a sticky mat. You put this on, the sticky mat shines on it. Right? It's a tiny little light bulb. It shines on the sticky mat. It attracts the fleas. They jump on it. You can see them because it's a white sticky mat. You can see how many fleas you got, right? You can see the fleas. You go by, we got fleas. I probably should just show you what they look like. But basically, and it's called the ultimate flea trap. So it lets you. So you put this you plug it in, you stick it in there, and you watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Come back every year. You'll see. And if it gets so many fleas you can't count, you have a bad flea problem. Usually you may get a few fleas. It's one of the things you can tell, because like with my cat, she doesn't have any fleas now because it's getting to be winter time. But during the summertime, I constantly be changing the little flea trap thing so I can tell if any fleas are around. I would do a spray of this alcohol mixture. You want to learn the strength. If this particular strength doesn't work, because the fleas are so chemically, they're not, nothing kills them. And so what I have done several times, right? What I've done and this also works for cockroaches. What I've done several times is to use the full 70% spray, put it in the little coarse sprayer and spray it straight. It doesn't burn anything. It will kill them on contact. But again, you don't want to overdo it because it's very strong. But if that's what you have to do, a real bad problem, like in areas outside on the porch, you can spray it, But inside you have to just determine the right strength to spray it with. Okay. And the alcohol is really the safest and easiest way because animals can come in there afterwards. But like we said, once you air it out, you can smell the alcohol, and the alcohol just disappears. And use the ultimate. Then you set the ultimate flea trap and keep an eye, see if you catch any. The whole goal is to kill the fleas inside without hurting anything. The ultimate flea trap is one of the easiest ways to do that. You set one up in every room. If you have fleas, if you know you're going to be having fleas and you have a flea problem, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you want one in areas where the pets are, one in the living room, and they can tell you. Like I had fleas in my bedroom because it was rugs, and any areas were rugs, they're in there, and I can show you something else you can do long term for fleas that you can do it to the rug. But the spraying is the easiest way, and the alcohol is the simplest. You do not want us to be spraying essential oils because not only are your pet's going to get it, you're going to get it every time you spray. Unless you wear some kind of oxygen mask or something like that, the glasses, you're going to be spraying essential oil because you're going to be breathing in it. You come to your body. So, and there are lots of other products on the market. When in my early youth, and I don't do it anymore, I used to take Dr. Bronner's soap and spray. Soap is good, but you don't really want to be spraying soap, no matter how diluted, on rugs and stuff like furniture, and it doesn't work. So you want something that's really clean that you can spray, and that's the alcohol. I when I was young, I was also spraying garlic. And then people were going, "Oh my, crying out loud! You're spraying garlic in the house for fleas?" Yeah, it gets rid of the fleas, but you have this wonderful garlic scent. It'd be like garlic. It's garlic.
And I'd be going, hey, where's the steak to go with that garlic?
Garlic is great for outdoors. You can spray outdoors rather than doing alcohol outdoors, because it's kind of, you have to do a lot of alcohol. You can get the garlic. Garlic is a lot cheaper to buy. There's two of them called garlic barrier and mosquito barrier.
Okay.
So I started talking about the benefits of garlic a long time ago. This guy heard me. Now it has 100 bulbs in this gallon of garlic. It's called garlic berry. The garlic will kill anything, any white flies. It doesn't hurt the bees and all the beneficials. And so, how in Miami they were spraying for malathion for the flies.
Okay. I don't know. I don't have that kind of problem up in Canada here, so.
I told him I missed most of it. And what you then the other day giving shoots me. I don't know what I was just reading too much. I can't do the comment right and to say So I was going to get to that because diatomaceous herbs. Now there are different types of diatomaceous. It's one of the things you can apply to the animal. Yeah, and there are 3 different types of diatomaceous herbs. They're all not the same because people have contacted me and says, I went and bought to this pool company and bought some diatomaceous herbs because that's what they sell it in the pool. Isn't that wonderful? It was really cheap. And I said, no, it's not. It's chemically treated and it's totally toxic and it causes this horrible disease in your lungs. Duh. And so there's actually 3 grades. There's the poisonous kind. You leave it alone from the pool. The garden grade, which is a little better quality than the poisonous kind, is not treated. It's meant to be used in the garden. And the food grade. The food grade is actually that you eat it. It gives it to you. You give it to your pets. You can eat it yourself. People with wealthy people with right.
I put it into my medicine in my gel caps. That's what I fill the up. I use diatomaceous earth in it.
Right, and so the wealthy people or anybody with horses, they feed the horses diatomaceous earth. It makes them healthy because it naturally deworms them. Yeah, it gets rid of parasites. If you look at it under a microscope, you see sharp blades. You say, well, doesn't it cut you up? No, it does a really good job on fleas. So what you do is you take a tablespoon of the food grade diatomaceous earth, and you put it on the back of the cat, and you rub it in, and you basically lightly dust the animal. Because remember, it's very gritty. You don't want them to get in their eyes. Yeah. Same with a dog. So usually a tablespoon is more enough. So sprinkle it very lightly on the back of the animals, and so rub it in, and don't get it in your eyes either, because it's very tough on your eyeballs. And then there's another product, but the diatomaceous earth I would not sprinkle into the rug. That would not work, because the diatomaceous earth will literally destroy your rug, because it will cut it up, and especially if you vacuum with it or somehow rub it in, right? So what you do is you use boric acid. Boric acid is what you buy for your ice and eye wash. You go to the drugstore and get pure boric acid. You can also order it online. Get pure boric acid. You have to remember there's boric acid, so if you get a cut, you're dead. It's the same thing when using tobacco. You can't put anything in your body when it's a cut, very cut, because it's very bad. It goes right in your blood system. So I don't recommend it unless you have a really good idea how to deal with it. Because normally what you do is you take boric acid and you sprinkle it lightly on your rug, and you scrub it in, because the boric acid will get down into the rug and kill the fleas. And it's also very effective for bed bugs. Okay. Because that's one of the main tools that these companies do when they say, we'll get rid of your bed bugs. It's also it's not in the bed, it's also in the rug everywhere around you in your room there. And if you have a rug, you have to basically treat the rug as well. And so they rub it in. They rub it into the rug, and that gets rid of the bed bugs. And the alcohol really works on the bed bugs as well. So if you have bed bugs and you can't you want to really get rid of it, you take the laundry off, wash that, but spray the whole rug, your whole mattress with alcohol. Wear a mask. You're not breathing it. Or maybe have some air, because you can't be breathing this stuff. So those are some of the simplest things to use, and you'll find that it's not. You don't really want to be using any of these chemicals. There is an exception, and let me explain it to you a little bit. It's called pyrithium. It's made from chrysanthemum flowers. Okay. Now, in Ceylon, they had fields and fields of chrysanthemum. Yeah, they're like bed bugs are like fleas. They're really, really tiny, teeny weeny things that you can't see them, right? And they're only associated with bed bugs because they live inside the mattress or in the general area of your bed, because they like your body like fleas, but they're called bed bugs instead. They're very small. And you'll find
they'll actually hide behind baseboards, behind pictures. And we had an outbreak here from when I was driving truck. I was at a hotel for a night while my truck was being repaired, and I came home with bed bugs from that hotel, and we actually used diatomaceous earth. We took an old mustard container that we emptied out, and it's got we just used it as a puffer, and did all the edges around all the pictures, and bang, we were done.
Lily says she sprinkles food grade over areas she suspects fleas and leave it there for a couple of days and then vacuum. That's fine if you know you're going to just leave it there, not have any traffic or pet traffic on it. You have to be careful with getting in your eyes or the pets getting into their eyes. But if you dust an area and you leave it alone and use a mask to protect lungs, exactly right, because you have to. You have to be real careful with this stuff. And I've learned, I try not to recommend it too often because my experience has been people will screw up.
There'll be a moron, and
they will screw up. So I always try to leave them with simple things like I love the alcohol. It's kind of hard to screw up, even though they will. Oh, I'm getting dizzy.
I'll be drinking it.
I'm getting dizzy. I can't breathe. You know. Right. So it's a tough one, which I try to stay away with from on a general basis because man, these people have no. So you have to try to. That's why I like working with the soil because it's kind of hard to screw that up.
Yeah. And as for mice, get cats. Okay.
And for mice, well, there are a couple of different things. Yeah. The easiest thing is I have no mice and I have cats.
Meowser.
And the ladies will catch them and bring them to you. Hey, you want some of this? Man, this is good. Look at the tail. You want a little tail? Oh, look, I have a liver for you. And they always do this. So that would be the easiest way if you can have cats. Male cats will look. Oh, it's a mice. Nothing, right? A male cat would just sit there. No, I'm not going to get it. No.
I don't know. I have 2 male cats, and they we don't have mice.
That's cool.
They eat mice out on the lawn all day long.
That's cool. They're hunters because a lot of male cats. So they were brought up the right way, because a lot of civilized male cats don't do that. Hey, I'm back. Grand Gunwana Natural Pharma. Hey, man, cool. I like that. What happened to the beetle?
He rescued the beetle, and then he got sidetracked taking it out, and he ended up doing some gardening while he was outside. And yeah, I got a show I got to watch. Yeah.
Probably was a beetle in the house or something, honey. You had to take back out.
Yeah, it was in the dog's water dish.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice rescue. But female cats, bring home female cats. Amen. But that's generally a rule. But there's, you can't always say all animals are this way. There's always going to be a different animals.
All depends on the cat.
Okay. Yeah, I think they got brought up really well. Yeah, no, you go out, you eat. Maybe did you start them out young, say, get the rats? That's what you're going to eat because some people do that. You're hungry, there they are. Look, we're all eating.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, trap a few mice and feed them the mice as kittens, and they get the taste for it, and then they know what. Yeah,
exactly right. That's the ideal way to do it. So, and like I said, when I've been doing this pest control thing for a long time, and it always goes back to the soil. So it's really great if you have property because you know how to deal with it. Sometimes too, your neighbor has properties that you have to somehow get to them and say, listen, I know you and I both have a major flea problem and ant problem. Maybe we should do something about it. And it starts in the soil. Yeah. So I'd be surprised. Well, here in Malibu, everybody has some land, right? Some property, the front yard and the backyard. I'm going to go on the back 40, and they all have the same problem, not paying attention to the health of the soil. The words health and soil are never in the same room, same paragraph, same consciousness.
Same state.
You know what I mean, right? So if they say health, they may be related to your body, but maybe not either. It's not totally. I'm not totally clear. If you say health of a tree, they're going to go. But yeah, at least they understand. I mean, health of the tree. Maybe we should do something. But health of the soil is. Every week people come up to me. Okay, let me get this straight. You heal the soil. What does that mean? What? Who? Where? Why? I'm like, and they start babbling away. I don't understand. And I just listen for a while, and I don't really have to answer because they eventually figure it out that something's going on with the soil they have to pay attention to. Right? And so, so with fleas, again, stay away from using. So the pyrethrum was a really good one because it's made from chrysanthemum. It was a powder. It was called natural pyrethrum. And they were doing really well. They were out selling all these chemical things. Chemical companies bought them up. They're not around anymore. But you can buy chrysanthemum flowers, and that also turns you on to the fact that there's tons of plants that you can grow, dry them, and you have this amazing powder that will work on a variety of different things. You just have to try them. It's one of the things that I'm going to do in this garden here. I have a book, which I'll bring out next time. You ever remember the book called The Whole Earth Catalog? He does. That's your
Yeah,
bird.
he remembers it, but what was it called again?
Whole Earth Catalog.
Whole Earth Cattle something.
Catalog.
Oh, catalog. Oh, well, no, actually, I don't remember that
It
one.
was during the '60s, a hippie thing. It's called Whole Earth Catalog about happenings everywhere in the world and stuff like that. It was really cool. Now they have the whole seed catalog,
Mm-hmm.
which is I think is somewhere in Canada, in your area there somewhere. They have a whole seed catalog, which has tons and tons of plants that they're growing in different parts of the United States, or that they get from other places, and they have lots of herbs and but you'll find that and there's a book you can buy which tells you what the properties of the herbs are.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to bring it out too, because basically you use it for healing, so it's a
Yeah,
healing book on how to use
healing
herbs,
herbs. Yeah.
and a lot of these are very old books that have been done a long time ago that people gather the information. And you'll find that I grow citronella, for example. It's a plant.
Yeah, we use it for mosquitoes.
You can make a tea out of that and kill every mosquito on the property easily enough. You can spray it for. I sprayed it, of course, mosquitoes, flies. If I want to keep rabbits off my vegetable garden, I don't spray the vegetable garden. I spray around it. The rabbits go.
Yeah.
I don't think so, right? And so there are lots and lots of really cool herbs that you can grow, make a tea out of it, and then spray.
Yeah.
And I think the bottom line, that's so cool that you don't have to buy something other than you grow the herb. And there's tons of different kinds of herb. So onions are very good for that. I mean, I could go through the list of every herb, of every plant that we grow in the garden, make a tea out of it. You'd be surprised at what can happen. Tomato. Tomato is a part of the nightshade family.
Yeah.
Right. So have you ever made a liquid from tomato leaves?
No, never have.
Take some tomatoes, get the water to boil, make sure it's distilled water. When as soon as it's boiling, turn it off, put a whole bunch of leaves in there, stir it up, put the top on it, come back to the next day.
Okay.
And filter it out, the liquid out. And one of the ways you can tell, spray a bug you don't like and see what it says.
Ah!
Exactly right. So in that mixture, which is probably maybe a gallon or two in the mixtures you're making, Bessie seeds, what calls the Mackenzie seeds in Canada. I like to buy things from Canada too, the other countries' seeds that they grow there, and eventually try it in my place. Remember, we talked a little bit about trying to grow things up north there. The climate's very different.
Yeah.
But I'll be here is a little bit more mellow, so I can grow things. They have the very same kind of climate, different parts of the world.
Well, actually, Andy, today, considering it's just about Christmas, we were at in your temperature, it would be 59 degrees today in northern Canada.
There you go.
Okay. Plus 15 Celsius is what we were at.
I think you guys were a little warmer. Well, we go up to at night. We were down to the 59 at night. We went down to 59. Actually, some parts of LA, because they're in the mountains, was like really 39. It was really cold, but 59 was a little bit cold for me this morning. And when I go out, I don't. Yeah, well, Victor, is cool. So you can get, and what's cool about tomato and any plant you get, because I've learned from experience. I used to grow different varieties of plants and tomatoes and grow them over and over again. So I got some really kind, and they all have smell very different. The cherry tomatoes smell very different than the beefsteak tomatoes, and so on. And you'll learn. You keep a diary. You say, well, I use this tea from this.
Oh. I think, guys, that Andy hit his keyboard and kicked himself off the screen, or the power just went out in LA. Hard to say. We'll see if he jumps back on, but just let you guys know. Oh, there he's back. Okay, what'd you do, Andy? You disappeared on me.
Well, see, I have these aliens keep coming to me, and Well, they bring their yeah, right, and I had this shield around it to protect me, and they laugh, and I said, just hang on a second, and I forgot everything I was talking. What was I talking about? I don't remember. It's been 4 days already. Well, where am I?
Yeah.
So what
Well,
was I talking about? Eucalyptus. Oh yeah, eucalyptus. All the different lemons, because that's all these different citruses. A lot of them are really, really very. Yeah, you learn lots of different cool tricks of
yeah,
controlling
plant
ticks and stuff
medicine,
like that.
baby.
And that's why you really want to have a garden and go through the garden, and whatever you're growing, you'd be surprised. Make a tea out of it. You'd be surprised as to how effective it is. A lot of times
Mm-hmm.
when I have well, in Florida, I had a massive garden, I had roses, all that kinds of stuff, and I had a big garden. I had like 14 different raised beds,
Mm-hmm.
and they're always overflowing with stuff in it year round. And I've learned, hey, make a tea out of these things and see what happens. And so I can
Yeah.
spray a tea of. And I also learned to fool the insects. So I would make a tea of tomatoes and spray. Well, onions is a really good one. You make a tea out of onions. You can spray lots of different plants with it. The bugs will go, this is an onion. I'm not going to do it. Right. Or if you take a tomato, which is a nice shade plant, you can spray lettuce. The caterpillar will go, no, I don't think so. Right. So, and it's not a permanent thing, because I've learned that certain things are permanent. If you spray garlic, so if you can spray garlic on on the tomato plant, I grow the garlic plant underneath the tomato, so it tastes like garlic. So you don't have to spray the tomato plant with it. But
Right.
I have also sprayed garlic on watermelons, and what happens is the bugs stay away from the watermelons. But when you eat the watermelon, especially if you eat it short, maybe within 24 hours of spraying it, you're gonna go, oh, this is a really weird taste. It's watermelon and garlic, and I kind of like it. I did that with apples. So the way I figured I control different birds and creatures from getting at my apples, I spray them with garlic. And then in the years I've gotten really cool is I would plant garlic at the base of the plants of these fruit trees. So I had garlic growing on the apple trees. That's really cool. Garlic tasting apples. And people go, what? And some people
Imagine that
hate
as
it.
the juice.
Some people hate it, but a lot of people really like it. But it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
screws up the bugs. The bugs have no idea how to deal with it. It's the same. Can you use frass as pest spray? What's frass?
Insect frass. So ground up insects.
Yeah, yes, of course. So that's a slightly different thing, but you're using their biology against them.
Yeah.
So you learn how to. So I used to take, and it's very interesting because there's a really clever way that this guy developed. So, for example, he had snails, right? And so his name was Hieronymus. Now I'm going to make a long story. Oh, it's short. His name is Hieronymus, so he developed the Hieronymus device. This is a device. Basically, it's a round rod like that, maybe 10 feet tall, and it goes in the ground, 2/3 in the ground, and the part that sticks up has a little opening that you put something in it. Anything you put in there will radiate out in a certain area.
Okay.
And so you experiment with a variety of things. But one of the things he did was he would take a snail. So he would go to the people's property. I got a bad snail problem. So he would put the device in the ground, put a snail in there, and crush it. The fact that he did that would send this energy out the whole area. The snails will all disappear. They would not come anywhere near that.
Interesting.
That's one way to control the bugs. But what's also interesting too is that he would say, okay, you have a deficiency in calcium or a deficiency in iron. The plants are. In that device, you could put calcium or iron. Boom, the plants would get it, and you could test it. They would have it. The iron or whatever the device is, right? And so there's a whole science behind it called radionics, which I'm very proficient in it. It's called a black box. So anything you put in that box can be transmitted. And the way it works is that for example, a calcium can be transmitted to another plant, another box, which then transmits it to the property, the calcium. And the Germans developed this a long time ago, and the United States prohibits it because it works. It works on pest control. It works on a variety of other things as well. But because I know you have some really cool things going on, and I just want to bring those out because those are you learning to use frequencies, because that's basically how it works. Is and the sciences have a name. It's called entrapment, where you take the calcium from here and connect it to the calcium, produce the calcium over here, and it's not limited by time or space. And the Hieronymus device transmits it out to a certain area.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hieronymus device is made in such a way. Wilhelm Reich developed the orgone accumulator, and the orgone accumulator, his name was, he calls it orgone, but it's many different names are called according to what part of the world it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's chi in certain parts of the world, and other parts of the world they all talk about the same energy. But he called it orgone, and he basically realized that if you alternate organic and inorganic layers, it would attract this organic energy. So the Hieronymus device is made with organic and a layer of organic and inorganic layers. So it acts as a transmitter, and you can also make the smaller devices. I make the smaller ones that you can wear and use. And if you use them in the garden, one of the cool things about growing in the garden is that you can use electrical magnetic waves. You can use energy as a way.
Mm-hmm.
So like structured water holds that information. So when you're watering, you can also put the iron and calcium or whatever you want into the water when you're watering. At the same time, the microbes go for it because it's all very harmonious to them. Doesn't conflict with them at all. So the whole structure, your whole garden benefits from it. And you are also benefiting too, because when you're in that environment, you're also bathing in this environment that you produce.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the things about gardening to set up. You set up an energy field around your garden. Literally, you can set a physical energy field that you can test.
Yeah.
There are lots of really cool devices. I have some of them that you can use to say, look, there's definitely field going on here. And one of the cool, a friend of mine, what he does, he puts a copper wire into the garden, into his raised bed, and he can test how it's absorbing all this energy just from that little wire that's going in. There's a name for that that they develop, and you can see that, and it affects the magnet. It affects the insects because these insects are very sensitive to all these different really cool frequencies, right? So you have one frequency that they don't like, they go bye-bye, right?
Yeah.
And it works. It does. It really, really does work. In my spraying, and I don't tell people this a lot, but basically, I infuse the water. First of all, I clear the water.
Right.
It becomes structured, and then I infuse it with whatever particular type that I'm spraying. So what I can't infuse it with the microbes, but I can infuse it with energy because it's the same thing with producing gem elixirs. So a lot of times I've learned that rubies or certain other energies are very good in the water, specifically for plants or insects. Because like I said, insects, everything's really tuned. They're all tuned into this frequencies thing.
Yeah.
Colors and sound that all produce are intertwined, and these insects, and we humans are too, but we have to learn how to really open up to expand our sensors, right? You know, that's one reason why, for example, you see how when I have my hair, right, and it's like,
it's a tuning fork. That's why I'm growing mine back out. Yeah,
exactly right. So, but I become like you can't touch it. Electricity shoots out of the hand, and it shoots out of everything, and you go
Magneto. You're saying you're Mr. Magneto.
I could live
energy
in the
flowing.
woods anyway. I could live in the forest, never see people, and my hair would just be zzz, and it freaks people out. And so recently I had to cut it because even my beard would start to zzz, and it's definitely, remember who's that guy that they cut his hair, you know, and became Solomon?
Yeah, Solomon.
Was it Solomon? No, it wasn't Solomon.
No,
some guy. All right, audience. Where are you? Let's see. Where's the audience at? Anybody know who had his hair cut and became weak?
Oh man. I've watched the movie on him not that long ago, 5 or 6 years ago. But it wasn't Solomon. Oh geez.
He says
Samson. You're Simpson.
Samson, right?
Samson.
Lily wants to talk about the bees and their eyes work. And good. You want me to
Okay,
say
well,
something?
if you don't know, the bee can shut off their color vision, so they
Yeah.
can see in color.
Yeah.
So when they fly out of the hive and they're looking for a flower and they're looking for colors,
Yeah.
when they find it, it takes a certain amount of energy for them to see that way. So what they do when they're returning to the hive
They
is
turn
they
it
shut
off.
off their color vision and fly home on in black and white.
You'll be surprised how they all the insects are finely tuned. They have their own little refractometer. They can see the
Yeah,
different ranges of color, and genetically they know this color is good, or this color
yeah,
is bad, or this sound is good because their sound they hear it an entirely different way we do, and they see it an entirely different way that we do.
yeah.
And so they're all intertwined. And what's cool about us humans, we're very good at looking at all these different ways and understanding that. That's called science, right?
Yeah.
We can verify all these things. And I've learned that's it's like energy gardening. You learn.
Mhm.
That's why I do the music thing. The frequencies. I tell people, take this out, play it. It's meant to be played in the garden. It's meant for the frequencies to vibrate throughout the garden.
Energy, frequency, vibration.
Right. I have sometimes, I used to in the beginning take a big speaker, put it in the ground, right? Now I realize that it doesn't matter the size you heard of before, but it's the frequency that counts. A little cell phone would produce the same thing, in
Yeah.
terms of produce. And there are lots of other frequencies that we generally don't hear in color. We generally don't see because we have a short range. But some of us, and I wave my hand, are
Yep.
automatically open to this wide range of stuff, and it's very weird because you can see how they interact, how the insects and the trees. You think the trees are not listening in, are not aware of what's going on? They know when these frequencies are in their environment, and the mycelium. Seriously, the mycelium react to these frequencies as well.
Mm-hmm.
I learned I can grow 10 times more mushrooms if I play certain songs than if I play a different song. And it's true. I'm going, what the heck is going on here, right? But for me, this is really good. I like this. This is great. But over here, I was like, well, maybe I'll go to sleep. And it doesn't, right? So it's all interest. And I learned that I can take that with me. Like the song I wrote called Thank You is a brand new development because I do holograms. So I've learned that the frequency it's really a hologram because the whole world is a holographic. You learn how to tie into hologram. And the insects, animals, and I think everything, whether living or non-living, are tied into these holograms. I mean, by non-living rocks, right? Gems. If you say the gems are not living, but they could be.
Well, can I just jump in here for a second? If you consider our planet is ran by an artificial intelligence, and the neural network of that artificial intelligence is the biology, and we're killing that biology, and that's where energy, frequency, vibration is in tune, and all space and time is one space and time in that instant.
I would
just throw that out there.
I would add to that, we are the artificial intelligence. That is
That's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
We're part of that neural network.
Yeah, we are the artificial intelligence. We're not the supreme intelligence. The supreme intelligence is this being. And this being is connected to an even higher being because you have the Earth, you have the solar system, you have the galaxy. These are specific energy. If you think of beings as specific energy, yes. And we are nothing compared to all these other. And so we are the artificial intelligence that we are now working on. Right? We're not developing ourselves in. So
we're just learning how to reconnect ourselves into the matrix.
Well, the thing is, we were never disconnected in the first place. We were never unconnected to the matrix. We are connected to the matrix. You just have to learn how to dial in, how to turn it on, how to use it, because it's always there. It's already there. It's not like, Oh, the wires
Yeah.
are broken. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Now you're not taping anymore. Are we done? I can't talk anymore. Okay.
Hey, Scotty finally made it here, and we're at the end of the show, Scotty.
And the conversation will swing wildly because I can cover a wide range of stuff. If you guys want to hear something, you're interested in energy, you're interested in all, I'm happy to do that. We can talk about energetic energy for gardening, energetic energy for the body, all kinds of really cool things. It also has to do with healing, right? You know, right?
Yeah.
And you guys are really cool, and I'm open to anything really. Talking about, you know, I mean, there's a book you guys should read. It's called Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. Okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, Andy, you're gonna have to write that list of topics out.
Yeah, we don't know what we're doing next week.
And then we'll start adding those in. We'll start mixing it up because Gardens the Untold Story is about all of this. It's all about the energy, the frequency, the vibration, the biology. Everything is synergistic relationship. Everything that's happening in our universe, in our own bodies, on our planet's bodies. So it all is the same.
I'll tell you what. Are we still taping? Right? Good.
Yeah, yes. We're still live right now. Yeah.
Next week, I'm going to show you how to energize your water for your garden. How to stop using the junk that you're feeding your garden now. How to actually have pure energy water that you can give to your garden, and how to do that. Okay. Part of it is eliminating the chemicals in the water. There are lots of different ways you can do that, especially if you know about magnetism. Magnetism is the key that secret I'm going to let you guys know right off the bat. And there are lots of ways to energize the water.
Yeah.
Because the plants and the animals and the beings, even yourself, will love it. And that's part of the secret. What I do with my people's property is a constant battle to energize because people are very negative.
Mm-hmm.
People are very negative and they're de-energized. Can you de-energize something, right? Can you un-energize, right? You know what I mean? That's what they do. From toxins to just their consciousness, so everything they do is geared towards toxic, towards death.
Yeah.
So learn to change it around, and everything you do be geared to life and the health. And you'll find that you can literally energize your product. There's things you could do to the earth around you, because the earth has showed you, like Stonehenge. What do you think they were doing there? They were energizing the soil around it, their whole property. So there are lots of really cool ways that you could do this. And let's talk a little bit about it next week. Just remind me again. But I don't know what I'm talking about, but I will.
Well, write it down so that you can add it. That's what we're going to be talking about next week. Oh, you got boxes everywhere. Write it down on a box.
Oh, yeah, they'll have to look for the box. Okay, guys, see you next week.
Okay, guys.
Happy growing.
We'll end the stream. And we'll see you on the next show whenever that happens to be. Stay tuned to IG, and make sure you subscribe, click the bell so you get the notifications when we're coming up. Anyway, guys, peace out, and we'll see you next week.